Good evening, friends. So let us start with today's session of Organon. We are discussing regarding the drug proving and many aspects of drug proving we have discussed. In last lecture, we have discussed 3 aphorisms where he tried to explain few important things, how to conduct the proving. And while conducting the proving, the qualities of the prover, what one should exactly note down from the prover, how the prover should be of trustworthy, he should be very conscientious so that he can detail you each and everything. All those things he tried over there and he explained about all those things. Every detail about the proving is important. You have to ask, that is, if you are a physician and if you are not yourself conducting proving on yourself, and if you are conducting it on prover, then you have to ask regarding each and every detail. You have to ask regarding the sensations, you have to ask regarding the different modalities, you have to ask regarding the concomitants, all those things which are very essential in order to understand or get the details of that proving, so that later you can analyze and form your materia medica. A thorough materia medica can be developed because of a proper proving. And for that purpose, Hahnemann tried his level best to explain what should be the ideal proving. And this aspect he tries his level best. We are on the concluding part of the proving. Up to the 145 aphorisms, the drug proving he has mentioned. We have started right from 105. And now we're going to finish that within 2-3 days. Today we'll start with new aphorism, that is the aphorism number 141. What he says over there: but the best provings of the pure effects of simple medicines in altering the human state and of artificial diseases and symptoms they are capable of developing in healthy individual are those which the healthy, unprejudiced, and sensitive physician institutes on himself, and with all the caution and care here enjoyed. He knows with the greatest certainty the things he has experienced in his own person. What Hahnemann wants to explain over there, he wants to explain exactly few important things. He wants to explain over there that when you are conducting a proving, try to conduct it on yourself only, instead of doing it on another provers. Because being a homeopathic physician, he have a thorough knowledge about it. He understands all those things in a clear manner. And then it becomes very easy to write down what are the changes happen in the state of health of himself. There is no need to ask regarding the details because he is the homeopathic physician. The homeopathic physician who is having a knowledge about the homeopathy knows the importance of all the things, knows the importance of subjective feelings, knows the importance of objective things, knows the importance of location, knows the importance of a sensation. He knows the importance of the concomitants as well as modality, and because of which it is quite easy to reach to the perfect level. So to get an ideal proving, the physician himself, if is a prover, then it becomes a simple task. Then it is a right person to conduct the proving. And that's why he explained over there. He is the healthy, unprejudiced, and sensitive physician who institutes on himself with all caution and care here enjoyed. So this is very important in order to understand the drug proving. And instead of proving it on another's, first try on yourself. Conduct the proving on yourself. most important use of conducting the proving on self is that you boost your energy. When you do proving, your energy is always increased because it has been stimulated. The stimulation is always there, and that stimulation always helps in order to mm, boost the immune system, and that gives you a lot of knowledge about that medicine. So there is one footnote regarding this which has been mentioned over there. We'll go through that footnote and we'll read what he wants to explain over there. Okay. The footnote number 103. Those trials made by physician on himself have for him other and inestimable advantages. He says that if you conduct proving on yourself, it is of esteem value for himself. In the first place, the great truth that the medicinal virtue of all drugs, whereon depends their curative power, lies in the changes of health he has himself undergone from the medicine he has proved, and the morbid states he has himself experienced from them, becomes for him an incontrovertible fact. Incontrovertible. Incontrovertible म्हणजे निर्विवाद. If you yourself conduct a proving, then you exactly know what are the changes which has happened after taking that medicine. Because you are aware about all those things. You know what homeopathy is, how it is useful for the patients when you are going to apply the law of similar. And for that purpose, if physician himself conduct a proving on himself, he will going to get all this knowledge. He exactly finds it out what is the state of alteration which develops because of that stimulating dose. And that knowledge is very useful for the better mankind in future. He can build very good materia medica on the basis of proving himself. Hahnemann was the first person who started proving on himself. He has done definitely on his relatives, friends, but every time he has proved the remedy on himself, because of which the details are mentioned by Hahnemann in his proving. And he was the only person in the field of homeopathy who has, in a single-handed, proved 99 drugs. This is unique. No one have done such a unique work. Again, by such noteworthy observations on himself, he will brought to understand his own sensations, his mode of thinking, and his disposition, the foundation of all true wisdom, and he will be also trained to be what every physician ought to be, a good observer. So these are the things which you can get. This is the benefit of proving on yourself. You can get exactly what sensation have been happened after using the dose. You are aware what are the subjective feelings happen. You are aware about the modalities, what has happened. You are aware about the state of disposition which has developed after taking the dose. And all those things matters a lot in order to get a thorough knowledge about that medicine. That medicine exactly gets understood because of such type of proving, and exactly what changes happens in the mind, that also a physician can write it down. What are the changes happens in the dreams, that also he is able to write it down, because he knows the importance of dreams, he knows the importance of sleep, he knows the importance of all general symptoms, and those are very essential for the understanding the drug. So physician, if a physician himself is a prover, it has lot of benefits. A second important point which he has mentioned, he is a good observer. Homeopathic physician is a good observer. and he can observe all those things within himself. All our observations on others are not nearly so interesting as those made on ourselves. Very important sentence which he has used. What he says? If you are observing others, you never feels too much interested. But when you start observing your own self, it is always interesting. When you look inside, you are always understand that what is going on inside. What are the changes which are developed? Many times patient comes to you and they when they start introspecting, they gives you lot of things. And such a thing happens when you start looking inside, when you have taken a dose for proving, you start enjoying it. You find it out there are many changes which are happened in your life, in your mind. And those are very, very essential. The observer of others must always dread lest the experimenter did not feel exactly what he said, and lest he did not describe his sensations with the most appropriate expression. If he himself never proves the remedy, and if he proves it on the provers, then the question arises. Then the question about the sensations, then the questions about the modalities, then the questions about the concomitants, they are always there. Because that fellow doesn't know how much importance of those things are there in the field of homeopathy. And you will never get all what you exactly required from it. He must always remain in doubt whether he has not been deceived, at least to some extent. That is one more thing. If physician is conducting proving on others, he has to rely on others. There is always a doubt whether the prover is telling you a truth or whether he is telling you whatever is going on in his mind. And this is very, very important thing. And this doubt always remains when you conduct the proving on others. But if you conduct it on yourself, this doubt never remains. These obstacles to the knowledge of truth, which can never be thoroughly surmounted in our investigations of the artificial morbid symptoms that occur in others from ingestion of medicines, cease entirely when we make the trials on ourselves. So, when you conduct the proving on others, you have to believe, you have to rely. But when you do it on yourself, there is no need of believing. It is a question of experiencing. And what you experienced is very important truth. Then it always becomes a truth. Then your proving is a very thorough proving. Then your proving is 100% proving. And that's why he explains and states you that always do a proving on yourself, being a homeopathic physician. He who makes these trials on himself knows for certain what he has felt, and each trial is a new inducement for him to investigate the powers of other medicines. See what he is explaining? He who makes the trials on himself, those persons who used to do a trial on themselves, for certain what he has felt. So he is sure what he has felt after taking the dose. So a physician knows that he is feeling burning sensation in the throat. He is feeling burning in the palms. He is feeling burning in the soul. Whatever it may be, the sensation he understands is very important. That is having the value. If or some physicians being a homeopath, they knows yes they are getting stitching type of pain in their ear. This stitching can be missed if it has been proved on others, because he will not going to explain you the sensations in the same very words which you expect from him, because he doesn't know the importance of it. So such a thing is very important, and because of which we understand the powers of medicine very nicely. He thus becomes more and more practiced in the art of observing, of such importance to the physician by continuing to observe himself, the one on whom he can most rely, and who will never deceive him. And this he will do all the more jealously as these experiments on himself promise to give him a reliable knowledge of the true value and significance of instruments of cure that are still to a great degree unknown to our art. So if you conduct proving on yourself, you are damn sure what the medicine will is going to produce. You're damn sure regarding the actions of medicine, the dynamic actions of the medicines on the human being. And you are, if you are certain about it, then you are confident while using that medicine on others. See, this is the very important benefit. If you have thorough knowledge about that medicine, you can apply it very strongly. This thing is very, very essential. And this is what he is explaining, that if you conducting on others, you are not that certain. But if you conducting on yourself, you are quite certain about it. Let it not be imagined that such slight indisposition caused by taking medicines for the purpose of proving them can be in the main injurious to the health. Experience shows, on the contrary, that the organism of the prover becomes, by these frequent attacks on his health, all the more expert in repelling all the external influences inimical to his frame, and all the artificial and natural morbific noxious agent, and becomes more hardened to resist everything of an injurious character by means of these moderate experiments on his own person with the medicines. So what he is explaining? He is explaining that it never causes any injury to your health. If you try to prove the remedy on yourself, you become more stronger. Because of already you have proved, your immune system becomes boosted up. Now it is so strong that no noxious agent outside can enter in your body and trouble you, because you are already have developed a strong immune reaction. And this develops only because you have done the provings on yourself. So proving never causes any injury to your health, not at the physical level. Whatever happens is always a functional. Homeopathic drugs always process the functional alterations in the state of health. Homeopathic medicine never produces pathological alterations in the human. And this one must know thoroughly. Then what he says over there, his health becomes more unalterable. He becomes more robust as the all experience shows. So if you prove drugs on yourself, you become robust, strong. Robust means strong. You'll be able to fight any situation. Nothing can harm you because your immune reactions are stimulated and immunity is boosted up. So this aphorism number 141, where he tries to explain the importance of proving homeopathic drugs on physicians themselves, and all the details he tried to explain over there. And my suggestion to all of you is that at least prove us one or two remedies, so that you can acknowledge what exactly happens after taking the medicine. But you should be free during those days, at least for 15 days. Free means it doesn't mean that you should not work, but you should be free, not busy in certain tasks, so that it will not cause any trouble for anyone. So this is related with 141 aphorism. Let us go with one more. We'll finish 142. But how some symptoms of the simple medicine employed for a curative purpose can be distinguished amongst the symptoms of the original malady, even in diseases, especially in those of chronic character that usually remain unaltered, is such a subject appearing to the higher art of judgment, and must be left exclusively to the masters in observation. See what he is explaining, but how some symptoms of the simple medicine employed for curative purpose can be distinguished among the symptoms of the original malady, even in diseases, especially in those of chronic character that usually remain unaltered. So if you are proving it on the deceased human being, what happens? It is very difficult to find it out the exact action of the remedy, because you cannot differentiate what is original disease and what is the artificial disease. If the disease is chronic, then it becomes more difficult task, and that then you cannot get exactly the reactions of the medicines. You cannot get exactly the pure effects of the medicines, which are essential for that purpose. And then it becomes a question even for a good master in the field, in this field, he cannot differentiate there. So investigations of the pure effects of medicines in diseases is quite difficult. So if a person is deceased, you should not do a proving on him. Person who is healthy, who is conscientious, who is trustworthy, who is sensitive, if he is in idiosyncratic, these are the best provers. But one should, who is deceased, one should not conduct the proving. There is one footnote which he mentioned regarding it. Symptoms which during the whole course of disease might have been observed only long time previously and never before, consequently new ones belonging to the medicines. So if the person who is having chronic symptoms and if you start proving the medicine on him, then it becomes quite difficult task. You cannot find it out exactly the difference. And that's why it is always better not to prove any remedy on the deceased individual. So what exactly one should do and what exactly one should not do, both things he tried to explain over there in this aphorism. And every point regarding the proving, he tried his level best to show you how one should go for conducting the proving. So we are on concluding part of this drug proving. Only 3 aphorisms are remaining: 143, 144, and 145. Most probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll try to finish these aphorisms and we'll finish the drug proving. After that, my suggestion to all of you that don't miss the sessions thereafter. 146 onwards are the sessions for the most practical part of the organ of medicine, and which are very essential for every homeopath to learn by heart. They give exactly what to do. Hahnemann has tried his level best to explain each and every detail, each and every pros and cons while doing the homeopathic practice. What are the probable problems which arise? How to, if you don't get a perfect simillimum, what to do? All things he has taken into consideration right from aphorism number 146 onwards. So my suggestion to all of you, you don't miss that when we start right from 146 onwards. So today we'll complete over here, we'll stop over here, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time with the aphorism number 143. So there is one question, sir, what is the pathological love for animals? How we differentiate pathological or normal? Basically, love for animals is a good thing. Pathological love for animals means what? You don't love the human being and you love the animals. That becomes a pathological, basically. Because this is more important. If the love is there in you, it should be for everyone. It should include first the human beings and then rest of the animals. So pathological means you are just obsessed with the things. The obsession is there only with the animals. They are not talking with human beings, and they are only and only with they are only and only doing love with the animals, and they are obsessed with that idea. That is what is called as a pathological love for animals. Is it okay, Jyoti?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is there anyone? Any question?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ali.
सर आज एक पेशेंट आई थी मेरे पास. शी हैज अ हिस्ट्री ऑफ शेकिंग एंड टिल्ट नेक, शेकिंग ऑफ नेक with a little bit tilt ना. तो जब मैंने हिस्ट्री ली सर, तो उसने कहा कि जब वो नर्सिंग क्लासेस ले रही थी तो उसकी एक टीचर थी, शी वाज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द फीलिंग ऑफ कि वो कोई ह्यूमिलेशन ना हो, तो वो ना अपने नेक को सर स्टिफ करके बैठती थी बिहाइंड सम अदर स्टूडेंट, सो शी कैन नॉट सी हर। और बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वो अपनी गर्दन को कभी कभी इतना नीचे कर लेती थी कि द टीचर कैन नॉट सी हर। तो वो कहती है कि वो शायद वो एक ऐसी चीज थी जिसने आज मुझे 8-9 साल बाद जो है, मैं ना गर्दन को लेफ्ट टर्न कर सकती हूँ ना राइट टर्न कर सकती हूँ, और मुझे ये होता है कि लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं, लोग मेरा मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, और वो उसकी वजह से बहुत परेशान है। तो सर हम रूब्रिक में इस पैथोलॉजी को क्या लेंगे सर?
Actually, what is her age? First important thing.
सर शी इज 35।
35. Okay. What are the investigations done?
Sir, the abdominal sonography has been done. The cervical spondylitis is shown C6, C7, reduced space between C6 and C7, and there is a bilateral prominent lateral vertebral process of C7. Early cervical spondylitis changes seen.
Okay.
And she has also fibroids in the pelvis.
Okay.
She had a history of abortion, and after the सर वो जो एक उसके लिए वो जो सर इंजेक्शन लगाते हैं ना सुन करने के लिए ऑन द बैक, उसके बाद से उसने कहा कि मुझे थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम शुरू हुई, लेकिन जो असल इश्यूज उसके शुरू हुए वो उसकी सेकंड जो चाइल्ड की बर्थ हुई उसके बाद से प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा स्टार्ट हुआ, और अब उसके आर्थराइटिस भी है, एवरी जॉइंट्स इज पेनिंग, एंड देयर इज अ स्वेलिंग ऑन द रिस्ट, ऑन द एंकल, एंड अबव द नी द एरिया। तो ये चीजें हैं सर सारी।
एक काम कर लो ना, उसका एक CBCSR का रिपोर्ट, RA टेस्ट, सीरम यूरिक एसिड, ये एक बार कंफर्म करके लो।
ऑलराइट सर।
CBCSR, यूरिक एसिड एंड RA टेस्ट, ये 3 चीजें करके। और
सर आर
RA फैक्टर,
ऑलराइट सर।
RA फैक्टर, if it is possible, HLA-B27.
Right, sir.
HLA-B27 is one more, because if it is rheumatic, maybe ankylosis, the stiffness of neck is quite common, and if it is so, that same miasm entered in the uterus producing the fibroid. It is psychotic to psychosyphilitic. So you have to take into consideration the whole thing, do all those investigations, and then we'll decide what to do, what should be our approach.
Right, sir. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So thank you everyone being there. We'll meet tomorrow. There is one more friend who has joined from Brazil, I think. Mr. N. John David, he is there. Very much welcome to him. So we'll meet tomorrow and with remaining aphorisms of this second part of Organon of Medicine. Okay. Thank you.